Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Extreme Racing League here for round number 8 at the British Grand Prix. My name is Edward Mike, going to be taking you through the action. And of course, before we get into all the action here, let's have a look at the calendar for the season. As you can see, we're on round 8 for Silverstone. Next week we will be in Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix before the season finale at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. So that is how we're looking at the calendar. Looking at the Drivers' Championship now. The Drivers' Championship is a little bit wrong at the moment. I mean, as it currently stands, it says Wouter's on 90 points. He's actually on 95. So him and Connor come into this race tied on points with Flip Namzaram just 4 points behind. So again, very tasty at the top end. And of course, Amaguna with that fantastic win last time out in Kota at the Circuits of the Americas. He is up there. Up in P4, I believe. It says he's on 49 points, but I believe, if my math is correct, he's actually on 61. So Amaguna making his way up the order after an impressive win in Kota, and that does mean that the team championship is a little bit off as well. So the gap is, of course, Aston Martin being on 120 points and Red Bull Racing being on 186. So a 66-point gap with a chance tonight to seal the Constructors' Championship. That is what is on the line for Red Bull. Of course, they have a sizable gap, but if they can pull out 22 points in this race over Aston Martin, they seal the Constructors' Championship. So they'll be looking to do that as we go into the race itself. For some reason, there we go. Do we have the audio coming through? I don't think we do, so let's try and sort that out real quick. Try and get this sorted, and we shall see. And right, that should be the audio working tidy now, as we see the first lot of times coming in around the Silverstone circuit. It is, of course, the British Grand Prix around this fantastic 5.8 almost 5.9 kilometer circuit in length. As you can see, Connor and Palang on a set of the intermediate tyres, and then of course we've seen soft tyres coming in from Wouter, Laupi, Andanan and the Evo. In terms of lap times, the 28.8 is the quickest time so far. We're expecting to see times absolutely fly down, but let's go on board with someone who is on a flying lap, and that is Vero Ducko, who is coming through the Baggett, Beckett's and Chapel section as we go down the hangar straight. I do apologise if my voice sounds a little bit off today. I have been very ill, so I'm going to try to not get too excited and strain my voice, because my voice is only just starting to come back to me and can't really like exert myself too much. But Vero Ducko goes across the line in P5. Wolfman just set a lap at a 34.4. Looks like he's going to be going again for another lap. We've got G-Star Snipes, who is on a flying lap right now. We'll see what he does in sector 1. He comes down the Wellington straight. It's a 28 flat as we go into Brooklands and into left field. All about the traction on the exit out of this corner through the right hand kink of Woodcut down the Old National pit straight, where we see him throw the car through Cops corner, just getting a little bit too wide, and that is going to be a invalidation. Flip Namzaram, obviously a championship protagonist, he's going to be setting up on a lap himself, so we shall see how he gets on. As I actually have no audio, so I can't hear the game audio, but I can see that you guys can in the stream. If I bring it up, I'll just quickly make sure you guys can hear the audio. As we got flip rounds around coming up to the sector 1 split now. The audio is there in terms of the stream, which is all good, and flip rounds around continues on his lap. So I have no audio, but it's all good. I to be honest, I would like audio, but as long as you guys get the audio, I'm absolutely fine with it. As we go through Maggots and into Beckett's, flip rounds around, going to be looking for a good exit now out of Chapel onto the Hanger Straight. As 1 minute 3.9 purple in the middle sector for flip rounds around as he comes up to Stowe, braking as the curve starts on the left hand side but runs way too deep, and that's an invalidation there for flip rounds around as he comes through Vale into Club, and this will be the end of the lap for Flip, and it was going to be a 28.2, so 6 times quicker than Evil's time. Ibo through sector 1 is a 31.7, so he's trying to get a lap on the board. He goes through Brooklands and into left field now. Third gear, trying to get the rotation around there for Ibo. We shall see how Ibo's lap unfolds. We got Amaguna as well, last week's race winner. He's out there on a lap as well behind Ibo though, so we'll stay on board with Ibo for the time being as we go through Maggots and Beckett's. Looks a little bit tentative there, does Ibo. Turned in too early and then backed out of it. That is not what you want, but 1 minute 10.2 in the middle sector. He does have Swiss Steak in behind him, who's going pretty fast as well. So these guys will be getting to the line in near due course as we go through Vale in the Club now for Ibo. Very tentative. Swiss Steak in behind as Ibo has lost it. Ibo has lost it. He does cross the line, but Swiss Steak goes up ahead into P6. And Maguna now through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Middle sector, 1 minute 4.1, so that's 2 tenths slower than what we saw from Flip Namzaram moments ago, but much better. As I was just about to say, much better through Stowe, but he just allowed himself to go too far wide and pick up the invalidation there. Sinful. The Aston Martin, of course, Aston Martin needed a big result here against the Red Bull team because in terms of the constructors, 66 point is the gap, and as long as Red Bull can have a gap as Connor goes on provisional pole with a 28.5, good lap from him. As long as Red Bull has a gap in the constructors of 88 by the end of this race, they have confirmed themselves as the constructors champions, as Andanan goes on provisional pole as well. So Andanan setting the pace. Sinful coming up to Cop's corner as he drops it into 7th gear, takes quite a bit of inside curve but keeps it all valid as we head into Maggots and Beckett's, and it's all about how much you're willing to take through these corners and get good traction out at Chapel, and that is going to be a 1 minute 4.8. Definitely a bit off in terms of a lap time compared to the top guys, but Wouter there improving, getting himself on a 28.1 provisional pole right now for the championship protagonist. He is currently tied with Connor at the top of the championship, so these two will be battling out for the championship lead. I can assure you of that, as we have to see who we got on our lap. Right now is Vero. No, Vero's not on our lap. Laubie to the line, and I think Laubie may have just improved, or potentially Laubie probably did improve there. Palang half a second down. as actually I think Lauby's just starting a lap, so we'll actually stay on board with Lauby as we go through the entry and the loop down the Wellington Straight. It's 3 seconds off, so Lauby there not having the best of times. About 5.5 minutes to go in the session. It is Mr. Wouter currently out on top, ahead of Evo in second place, Underland in third, Connor in fourth. Wouter and Connor level on points in the championship coming into this race here tonight. Flip-Nams around only 4 points behind the pair of them. So the top three very close. In terms of the constructors, just to remind you what it's looking like, 66 points the gap between the Aston Martins and the Red Bull Racing. So there is potential tonight for Red Bull to take the Constructors' Championship if they can extend that gap by 22 points in tonight's race. The Sinful currently in 6th place, as you got Amaguna and Flip-Nams around currently well down the order, but they're looking to get themselves up the order, and let's see what Flip-Nams around can do as he goes through Abbey Farm and Village into entry and the loop, and let's see what the traction's out. A little bit of a wiggle there from Flip-Nams around, but now onto the Wellington Straight, foot to the floor. Let's see what this first sector split is saying. Yellow flags up ahead, but Flip's not going to be worried about that as he does a 27.7 in the first sector. As we go through Brooklands now into Luffield, second gear, shifting up now into fourth, getting good traction on the exit of Luffield through Woodcut now, down the Hold National Straight in towards Cops Corner, 50 metre board, 7th gear, and he's just drifting out wide again, and that's another invalidation there for Flip-Nams around. And I mean, it just looks like Flip just not have his eyes locked into the turning point of that corner. I think he's just delaying his turning just a little bit for that corner, and that is not what you like to see. G-Star Snipes 1.1 seconds up on his time. This will put him around Connor's lap time if he can keep it up. Through Stowe now for the Williams Racing driver as he comes into the Vale chicane and now into Club around the final corner, and G-Star Snipes a 28.1. He snatches provisional pole position away from the championship protagonist Mr. Wouter. So G-Star Snipes putting a great showing. Connor out on track. I believe Connor is actually the championship leader based on race wins this season. So Connor currently leading the championship on race wins. But let's see if he can get pole position here as he goes through Abbey Farm and now into Village. Now into the loop, through entry onto the Wellington Straight, DRS wide open. We run down in towards Brooklands. First sector split. That's a 28.8. This is not looking good for a first sector for Connor, but Brooklands and Luffield now looking quite smooth for Connor. And now through the little kink of Woodcut down the Old National Straight. The championship protagonist, 7th gear, turns in, throws the car in, keeps it valid. And that's kind of what Flip needs to do, because Flip is turning in just a bit too late and he's being dragged out wide onto that curb and getting an invalidation. But through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, Connor doing fantastic, and it's not looking like it's going to be a competitive that time. And Flip there, he does improve, he does get a lap on the board, and it is a 28.1, puts himself on provisional pole position. So both of the Red Bulls up there at the front end. Connor, he sees both of his championship rivals ahead of him, needs to get himself up there, and he does. He goes on to provisional pole position with a 28.0, and it looks like the timings here are going to be a little bit off, because it didn't look like that on the lap delta split. So yeah, we're flying into the unknown here, guys. got Eagle now coming through Stowe. Less than a minute left in the session. Eagle 32 currently in P5. Can he get himself any higher up the order? Is the question. To the line he'll come. And he does a 28-0. He puts himself on the front row with Connor. And it doesn't look like it doesn't look like Wouter's gonna actually, he might just have enough time. He may just have enough time. Less than 30 seconds to go in the session. We're gonna stay on board with actually no, we're not gonna stay on board with Wouter. What we're gonna do is once we go down to 0, we'll have a look and see who's furthest along. So Wouter is just starting his lap now. We got Connor who's just coming to the line now. We got Vero Ducko coming into the pits. So Palang will be the first one and he's invalidated. Swissteak in behind him. Let's see what Swissteak's doing. He's currently down in P9. The man in the Alpine says he's down on his lap time, but I'm not 100% sure whether we can rely on the sector splits now, because they were miles off in terms of Connor's splits there. But into the Vale chicane now, in through Club. Swissteak to the line, doesn't get himself any higher. Skid Solo marginally up in the middle sector. He has a Ferrari and an Alpha Tauri in behind him. I believe one of them is Evo, and I think Evo into the pits. I think the Ferrari into the pits, and Skid Solo does improve. And now we go on board with Wouter. Wouter's invalidated, and we got Laupi on the lap. If Laupi can find just over 4 tenths of a second here, he can maybe get himself ahead of Wouter. Wouter unable to get a lap on the board, but Laupi into the pits, and that's going to bring an end to qualifying. There's Connor taking pole position. Evo joining him on the front row. But the Red Bulls in 3rd and 5th, separated with G-Star Snipes in 4th. Andanan and Laupi, teammates lined the stern in 6th and 7th. Sinful in the Aston Martin, the lead Aston Martin in 8th, Swissteak in 9th, Palang in 10th, Skid Solo in 11th. Then we got the pairing of the McLarens of Wolfman and Vero Ducko. Then we got Ibo in 14th, and Amaguna going to be starting from the back of the grid after a fantastic race last time out in Koto, which saw him take the race win. So we'll run you through the order one more time. It is Connor on pole position ahead of Evo, who will join him on the front row. Less than 400ths of a second separating the top two. Flipnums Aram in 3rd place with G-Star Snipes alongside him on the 2nd row. Then we got Wouter in 5th with Andanan in 6th on the 3rd row. 4th row is comprised of Laupi and Sinful, Swissteak and Palang on the 5th row. Then we got Skid Solo and Wolfman, Vero Ducko, Ibo and Imaguna rounding out the rest of the grid. Okay, so while we are doing this 2 seconds, I'm just going to bring up the calendar while everyone's on the formation log, because I'm going to try and get the audio so I can hear what's going on as well in terms of what's going on track, because I can't really hear it, I can't lie. Okay, so I don't think I'm getting the audio that I need, which is annoying. It slightly is annoying. It is infuriating. Everyone is flying around on the outlap. I'll bring it back in and for everyone to see. Oh, right, there we go. Brought it back in and yeah, again, still no audio on my end. It is a shame, but we will have to make do. As we look at the tyre compounds, everyone has selected hards for almost everyone, but we got Flip and Wouter going for a set of the yellow walled medium tyres, Swiss Steak on a set of the mediums, and then the back three of Vero Ducko, Ibo and Amaguna all on a set of the medium compound of tyre. So these six drivers all on a set of the mediums. We'll be looking to try and make some ground early on. So we wait for everyone to get themselves up onto the grid, get these racing laps underway, as we have 26 laps awaiting us here at Silverstone. Well, here we go now to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway, and it looks like a very good start for Flip on those mediums. He's going to part the Red Sea, go through the middle of Evo and Connor, as you got Wouter going around the outside there of Evo through turn 1. As it's getting very close. Andernan with a fantastic start. He's up in the P6, but he's gone miles off track and he's well down the order now. As it looked like it was going to be a great start, but he's dropping back as we got Flip and Wouter already getting through and up in the P2 and P3. Sinful getting through on Andernan for P6, as you got Maguna following him through down the inside. Job done for the Aston Martin. There's no wonder it's job done. That is front wing damage for the Ferrari. Andernan there under pressure and overtaken by his teammate. It's got Flip now all over the back of Connor for the race lead. Connor, of course, won't have the grip on those tyres versus the mediums, but he just needs to make sure he does enough here. Stay ahead, keep ahead, and make it difficult for the Red Bulls in behind, because later in the race, Connor will have the advantage in terms of the tyre compound. Meanwhile, in behind, you got Maguna using his grip to his full advantage here, as he almost goes off track, carrying so much more grip than G-Star Snipes in the battle for P5. Back towards the front, Connor still leading the way ahead of Flipland's run. You got Wouter in third. Top 3, the championship attack, and is still scrapping it out. Meanwhile, in behind, Maguna gonna have a look down the inside into Village. A little bit of contact. I don't know, I can't really hear any contact because I don't have game audio going through my headset right now, which is absolutely terrible, but I know you guys will be able to hear it, so that is all that matters. As long as you guys can hear the game audio, it's all good. As Maguna gets through and up into P5. That's a Flip there, a little bit of a snap as Wouter is dropping off slightly. 2.3 second gap between Wouter and Evo in 4th. He's now under pressure from Amaguna. Amaguna coming up from P15 up into P5. Potentially P4 in the space of 2 laps is fantastic And that is G-Star Snipes, who's lost it through Cop's corner, and around he goes, and he drops down in towards I believe P13, yes, as Swistings gets through. And Maguna now going to get past Evo up in the P4, and Maguna, last week's race winner, absolutely flying once again, back up into the top 4. As we begin lap 3 of 26, Connor leads the way. Vietnam's around in second place, Welder in third, and Maguna in 4th. As it currently stands, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, I know it's way too early to be thinking about that. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Connor will lead the championship by 10 points as it currently stands, actually 11 including the fastest lap. I believe he does currently have the fastest lap, yes he does. Oh, is that Ivo around? Yes it is. Ivo has lost it on the exit of Entree. Not good for Ivo. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, obviously, as I mentioned, 22 points is needed to completely secure the championship for Red Bull. They need to outscore Aston Martin by 22 points, and right now, 20 points gained for Aston Martin and 33 points gained for the Red Bull, so it's a 13 point swing as it currently stands for Aston Martin. It's not enough, but there's a lot of racing still to go. As it looks like now, Flip starting to put Connor under pressure for the race lead. I do apologise that my voice sounds a bit off. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, I've been very ill over the past couple of days, so it's not been fantastic. My voice did go a couple of days ago. I've really only just got my voice back, so trying not to strain it too much, but trying to make sure that I do make sure that you guys get sufficient commentary over what is going on, even if it's not as energetic and as good energy as usual. I mean, it is what it is, but we got Flip on the back of Connor as we go through Maggots and Beckett. Fifth gear all about the exit here, and it is going to look like Flip will take the race lead here because he has got DRS and he does have his ERS as well. He's going to look around the outside, but Connor's going to defend to the inside and he's going to hold on to that position through Stowe. But Flip sends it down the inside into the field chicane. A little bit of contact and Connor's around. Oh, that is not good. Not good indeed. And Flip has definitely made a mistake there, and he's picked up a 3-second time penalty, and I think after the Stewart's report he'll be picking up a bit more than that. As Connor now down in the P3 and Maguna all over the back of him now, and Wouter has a commanding lead over his championship rival Connor in terms of time on the track now, and it's absolutely mad. Meanwhile, the battle for 7th, Lauby has managed to get past Simful. So Simful now picking up 6 points for Aston Martin. Means there's only 18 points gained for the Aston Martins now, and now with Flip and Router, P1 and P2, that's 43 points gained. And I believe that's a 25 point swing, and that is enough to seal the constructors for Red Bull. So this is where it currently stands. Red Bull currently taking the Constructors' Championship, but there's still a lot of racing to go. I mean, we do have an idea that I'm going to now up in the P3 that will do Aston Martin a good deal of hope in terms of the constructors. And who's that around? That is Flip. Flip is around, and I think Flip lost it through Stowe and in the wall, and he has had an absolute mare. Kuran has left the session. Flip has retired from the session. That is not good from Flip Namzaram. Corner on the back of Imaguna. So now that is big, because Flip, in my opinion now, Flip is going to be out of the championship altogether, out of the Drivers' Championship altogether now. Unless both Wouter and Connor have absolute nightmare races, Flip is gone. And in terms of the constructors, I mean, as it currently stands, Wouter's picking up 25 points on the Red Bull team, but Imaguna and Sinful now can play the team game and close up enough to maybe take the constructors to the final race. You never know. Two big results here. I mean, Sinful up in P6, and that's 8 points. He's on the back of P5, which is 10 points, and then you got Imaguna right now, currently in P2 on 18 points, and he could potentially close up to Wouter. He's bringing Connor along for the ride. That 3-second time penalty, is definitely going to hurt him later on in the race, but we have to wait and see what transpires, because as it currently stands, Red Bull, they're not sealing the Constructors' Championship up, and Wouter and Connor now don't have to worry too much about Flip Nanzaram in terms of winning the Drivers' Championship. They do have to worry about him in terms of playing the team game in the final 2 races. I mean, Connor will definitely, but Imaguna, what a chance this is for him, because he can close up to Flip in the Drivers' Championships and put that P3 third place in the Drivers' Championship under pressure. So Imaguna has everything to play for here as well, and he is towing Connor along as he is closing in on Wouter. As we got his teammate Simple being towed along by Laupy. Laupy getting a little bit deep going into Brooklands, and it's not looking fantastic for Laupy there, going just a little bit deep. He's going to be put under pressure when it comes to the DRS straight down the Hanger straight, but we'll see if he can get closer. Connor now about 6/10 off the back of Imaguna. I don't think he's going to be close enough to get a move done into Stowe, but Imaguna closing up on Wouter. 2.1 seconds the gap now. So Imaguna has the pace on Wouter, and he's towing along Connor. Meanwhile, in the background, Simple getting close, but not close enough to the back of Laupy to get a move done. Also, this now we got Swiss Steak and Vero Ducko getting pretty close to each other, but Swiss Steak just a little bit too far back to potentially go for a move on Vero Ducko. That is for the final points pay position in P10. Swiss Steak going to be wanting to take that spot away from Vero here. Both on 6-lap old medium tyres, about to become 7-lap old as they cross the line. Start lap 8 for these two drivers. Imaguna absolutely flying. He just took the fastest lap, and he has got the gap down to 1.7 seconds, 1.6 now. And I think Wouter potentially started to feel the pressure, because now Imaguna really is putting him under pressure in terms of the lap times that Imaguna is setting, but he's also towing Connor along, and Connor on those hard tyres, the closer he is to Wouter, the better his opportunity is once he goes on to the medium tyres after the pit stop phases. Of course, lap 8 of 26, we should be seeing pit stops begin to happen in the next few laps. I believe lap anytime from lap 8 to around lap 12 we should be seeing the pit stops begin to happen, as we got Wolfman into the pit, and he has retired from the session a lap down in this race, and it's been a long day for the man in the McLaren. as Connor on the back of Imaguna almost within DRS range of Wouter, and that's going to be big. If Imaguna gets into DRS range on Wouter in the next 2 laps, Connor is going to be absolutely loving life. Simple also on the back of Laupi, still doing a good job there in his battle for P5. We got G-Star and Skid close to each other in the battle for P7 and P8. Swisstick did manage to get through on Vero Ducko in the end, and he's pulled away, so he's got P10 locked down right now for Swisstick. G-Star, he had a look at the inside. He had a look at the inside there for Brooklands, but unable to get done. The traction out of left field though. We go through Woodcott. He is going to close in, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move in towards Cops. But a good run out of here, and he could be side by side through Margats and Beckets, and he is going to go for it. He's going to go side by side. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Whoa! And almost making contact there as they enter into the Margats and Beckett's complex, and it is going to be Skid Solo keeping hold of that position, as we've just seen Sinful try to send it around the outside of Stowe on Laupi. He's going to look to the inside at the field chicane, but unable to get it done. Maybe look for a better line on the switchback. Imaguna into the pit, so we did say that the pit stop phases are going to begin to happen. Imaguna going for the undercut on Wouter, and look at that gap between Connor and Wouter now is 1.3, and now Connor is in a fantastic position because his tyres will now be, I think, better than those medium tyres, and he will have the soft tyres for the end of the race, as Sinful unable to get through again as Skid Solo on he's been overtaken by G-Star Snipes, so Skid now needs to do his best to try and keep with him. As you got that Imaguna coming out of the pits, and he's side by side with Swisstick. Swisstick, he will to make sure he doesn't completely ruin the races. G-Star Snipes is around. G-Star Snipes around and down the order. Imaguna going to be all over the back of him now, whereas I was mentioning Swisstick making sure that he didn't ruin his race as well as Imaguna by battling too much, because sometimes you gotta play it smart. You gotta know which battle you're in, and if Swisstick can just get a little bit of DRS off Imaguna, it helps him out in the long run. Apologies for that, as Connor now within 1 second of Wouter. So Wouter and Connor, the championship protagonists, they came in tonight both on 95 points apiece. Whoever wins on track between these two takes the championship lead. Currently as it stands, Connor has more race wins, so he currently leads the championship, but it's going to be a case of who's going to come out on top here tonight, who is going to have the advantage going into next week at Spa. Only 2 more rounds to go after tonight, and it is all in the balance. Connor all over the back of Wouter now. Those medium tyres are beginning to fall away from the Red Bull. Good exit there from Connor. Swisstick picking up a 3-second time penalty, and Connor not going to use his ERS, and honestly quite a smart decision to not waste it, because he knows Wouter's getting out of the way soon. He knows he's got more grip than Wouter. He's going to try around the outside into the Vale chicane. Wouter there covers him off, goes a little bit deep, but leaves just enough room for Connor just to stick his nose in, and he'll have the run. Will he have enough going in towards turn number 1 at Abbey? No, he will not. Through farm now, and into Village. 3rd gear for Connor, and he is trying to line this up down the Wellington Straight in towards Brooklands, and this is job done by him. So close to the back of him, nothing Wouter can do about it, and Connor is through and up into the race lead. And there you go, Amaguna setting a new fastest lap, showing his pace. He's coming through Village now. Apologies for needing to take that short break there, guys. Bit of a sneezing fit there for me, but Connor getting the move done and getting up into the race lead and is slowly pulling away from Wouter. Sinful still over the back of Laupi, unable to get the move done as of yet, so it's not all looking rosy for Sinful here tonight, as Amaguna absolutely flying. Currently in P9, closed out to the back of G-Star Snipes, and he's got a fantastic undercut going on here versus Wouter and Connor, and he did have the pace on Wouter, so I think Wouter may struggle to catch back up to Amaguna here in this race, but we shall see, as Wouter does have DRS and he is keeping with Connor, but only just. As I believe we'll see him into the pits now this lap. Yep, there goes Wouter into the pit lane. As Sinful gets close to the back of Laupi, who's ran out of deployment. Sinful unable to get a move done as of yet. Amaguna now coming through Stowe. We shall see where he comes out relative to Wouter. Wouter's already out in the pit box. As Wouter made the overcut work, surely not. Still coming through Amaguna now from the final corner. Is he going to be ahead of the Red Bull? It looks like he will be just about. Yes, he will, as there he is, comes out about a second ahead of Wouter, but Wouter's come out on cold tyres and he's going to take a lap or two to get them warmed up, and that's going to allow Amaguna to pull away. As you see, the gap is flying up right now to 1.92 second region, as Wouter there weaving to get some temperatures into his tyres. Sinful still all over the back of Laupi for what is now P3. Now it's about, can Sinful get this move done? He does have the ERS advantage, he has DRS and he has a straight line speed, and he's just going to cruise straight on by. Sinful through and up into P3. Connor setting the new fastest lap, so showing that he had the pace as Sinful and Laupi into the pits together. And they follow suit as Amaguna now 3.2 seconds ahead of Wouter. So Wouter coming out massively behind Amaguna there on those cold tyres, unable to keep pace. Meanwhile, up ahead of Amaguna, he does have a little bit of an issue in terms of Palang and G-Star Snipes, as Amaguna picks up another 3-second time penalty. And now chances of a race win for Amaguna is practically, it's almost gone out the window now in my opinion, because there's no way he's going to build a 6-second gap to Wouter, and especially to Connor once he puts on those medium tyres. as Maguna all over the back of G-Star, who's all over the back of Parang. Battle for P4 between these three drivers, and this is only going to help Router close back in. We should be seeing Connor into the pits any moment now. And there he is, he's in the pits. So now we'll see where Connor comes out relative to the likes of Maguna and Router. Meanwhile, Maguna all over the back. Don't think G-Star oh, he had a little peek down the inside there with G-Star. But now Maguna, oh, he tried to make a move, but G-Star was coming into the pit lane. And he picks up a 5-second time penalty, G-Star. So, not great there. Maguna really misjudging it as Router sets a new fastest lap. Connor is coming out of the pit lane now. Parang, his teammates, directly in front of Maguna, and this is going to be interesting now because Connor on those mediums is going to be quicker anyway, but he's got his teammate to help back up the pack. As Maguna now will try and go around the outside of Parang. Parang is going to try and hold it off as he does so successfully. And now Connor all over the back of Maguna. Router only 1 second behind Connor is still anyone's game right now. Look at how much Connor has gained. Oh, Maguna's lost it. He's lost it off the back of Parang. Oh, that is heartbreaking for Maguna. Now he's under pressure from Evil. And, I mean, Parang now overtaken by his teammate, and Router, I think, will most likely be under pressure here because of the fact that now Mercedes pairing will back up the pack. Parang gonna do the job maybe for Connor as Parang down the inside. Oh, that's a bit of contact there, but I think Router has managed to get through and get clear. So Router lost a lot of time behind Parang, but definitely going to be a long day for Router now to try and close back up. And Maguna, he is currently in P4. Effectively, that will become. Actually, no, I think. Yeah, Parang hasn't made a pit stop yet, so Parang does need to make a pit stop, and he will probably come in at the end of this lap. Now he's done his due diligence as a teammate of Connor, he'll be into the pits, and Maguna will be promoted up into P3, but he may end up losing that podium because Evo is right on the back of him with more ERS available to him and no penalties as well. So Maguna losing it behind the back of Parang has really thrown him in the deep end here because that 6-second time penalty, if Evo decides to battle him, it could bring Sinful into play. That's going to be the question now as G-Star Snipes actually on the back of Skid Solo once again. So this battle has resumed. Louty has dropped off the back of Sinful at about 2 seconds. The gap is now Sinful unable to keep with the pace of his teammate Maguna, and because of it, it's allowing Evo to just pull further away with DRS, and Evo now getting the job done on Maguna up in the P4 and the net P3 for Evo. The Alpha Tauri here with a potential podium on his hands. Meanwhile, Connor absolutely flying away from Wouter. Putting the championship once again in his favour, as I believe right now, as it currently stands, fastest lap belongs to Wouter, so the gap would be 16 points if it all remains like, well, it'd be 6 points, but oh, there we go. Connor with a new fastest lap takes it away, and Maguna gets another 5-second time penalty, and he's retired from the session. Maguna retiring from the session, and that is honestly, it's a shame to see Maguna had such good pace around here tonight, but getting caught out behind Parang, and Parang, I don't think there was contact. I mean, I couldn't hear it because I don't have no game audio going through my headset, but if there was contact there, then Maguna definitely has a gripe to complain about. But if it was a known mistake, then it's one of them ones where it could have gone better. But currently, Connor will lead the championship by 8 points in the Drivers' Championship, at least, as we just want to remind again, yep, Parang, the only man yet to make a pit stop, lap 19 of 26. And Maguna out of this race, Wolfman out of this race, and Flip Ramzaram out of this race. Connor currently leading the way, setting new fastest lap after fastest lap. Parang 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. That's going to release Evo now up into the podium position. Sinful will come into P4. In terms of the constructors, Red Bull do gain 6 points. Mercedes are potentially the big gainers here tonight, depending on where Parang comes out. Was Connor picking up 25 points. I believe Parang will come out not too far off the back of Skid Solo, as G-Star Snipes picks up a 3-second time penalty. Those soft tyres could be enough to get Parang ahead of G-Star Snipes and Skid Solo, so we shall see how he gets on. But I think Parang might have lit up the rears on the exit of the pit lane, and that is definitely not going to be helping his cause. Everything has calmed down now, as there's not really much in terms of battling going on. The gaps are pretty large in terms of battling here, and we're in a bit of a situation. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. So G-Star Snipes 11-second time penalty, Parang with a 5-second time penalty, 3 seconds for Swisting, 3 for Anderland, and 3 for Ibo. 20 laps completed out of 26 or 20, well, lap 21 now with the race leader. He does have the fastest lap of the race as well, so as it currently stands, 26 points going the way of Connor, 18 going the way of Wouter. They were both level on points coming into tonight, which brings us an 8-point lead for Connor in the Drivers' Championship, which is significant with only 2 races to go. Means the pressure will be on Wouter next week to come back with a big performance. But if he's beaten by Connor again next week, then Connor potentially doesn't even have to win the final race of the season to take the championship, and he can kind of relax a little bit. But lap 21 of 26, Connor leads ahead of Wouter. Evo in 3rd place. Been a good solid drive from the AlphaTauri. He's not done much wrong here tonight. He's literally just driven his own race. He hasn't had the pace of Maguna, Flip runs around Wouter or Connor, but he's kept it consistent. He's clearly beaten the best of the rest, and through the mistakes of Flip and Maguna, he is currently in a podium position. So fantastic job there from the AlphaTauri. Sinful probably would have wanted Maguna to keep going just so they can gain more points on Red Bull to keep the Constructors' Championship alive. Of course, before Maguna retired from the races, Perang has gone around, reversing on track, needs to be careful. Oh, we just gone back onto that. Oh, was that Evo? Oh, that wasn't Evo. That was Ibo. No, bang! Can't be taking Ibo out like that. Everyone into the pits, and everyone will be putting on a set of the soft compound tyres, but this is I mean, it does tee us up for a very exciting end to the race, but I mean, heartbreak for Ibo, because Ibo didn't do nothing wrong. Perang coming back onto the track, lighting up the rears with grass on his tyres and absolutely spinning it in front of Ibo. Ibo didn't do nothing wrong. Wilder's into the pits, Connor's into the pits, and Maguna's left the session. He's absolutely fuming right now because he retired, but the safety car definitely could have brought him back into it. Wow. Evo stayed out. Evo's gambled. Oh, now you love to see this. You love to see someone taking a gamble here. Evo, I mean, he is going to get absolutely swamped by the soft runners, but he has taken a gamble. He has risked it for the biscuit here to take the win tonight. And I mean, all due respect for Evo, I mean, this will be fantastic if he can pull it off. There will be no DRS, but the grip from those soft tyres will definitely be massive compared to the worn medium compound tyre that he's currently on. And everyone being on soft tyres behind him, it could be a very long final few laps for Evo, but he has risked it. He is going for the race win, and you're all due respect for Evo for risking it. And we'll see if it pays off. Okay, so get your predictions going now in the chat. Who is going to be taking the race win here tonight? Will it be Evo? Will it be Connor? Will it be Wouter? Can Sinful get himself on the top step? Oh my god. My nose is blocked and bunged up. That is why I sound so terrible, but we are here at Silverstone. Vero Ducker with a 3-second time penalty. And Perang has retired from the race, so as long as you finish the race, you're getting a point. But what this does mean is our fastest lap from Connor now. It's not safe, but if Connor can get ahead of Evo ASAP, he can potentially set a new fastest lap and then take 26 points, while Wouter potentially can only take 15 points, which would be a massive point swing in terms of the championship. And obviously you've got Sinful there right behind Wouter. He's going to be wanting to overtake him for the Constructors' Championship as well. As it currently stands, Aston Martin, the Constructors' Championship will go on to the next round, but I believe as it currently stands the points gap will be 69 points, which is a very nice amount to have, but Sinful gets himself ahead and the gap will be 63 points, and any mistake now will be massively costly for anyone in the top 5. Skid solo without a penalty to his name. If the top 5 start picking up penalties and Skid can just stay within 3 seconds, he could fly up the order here. Next car should be in this lap. Vero Ducko probably won't be closed up to the back, and I don't think Andernan and Swisty, actually not, they potentially could close up to the back, as I believe the safety car will come in once we cross that middle sector split. Swisty and Andernan coming through Cops now, but their tyres are going to be nice and toasty compared to everyone up ahead, who will have to take a little bit just to warm them up. Safety car is in this lap. We'll have 2 laps of racing to go. Evo, the man leading the pack, and he will back up the pack as much as possible, and he'll try and cool down the tyres of these soft runners to try and get a bit of a jump here. And yet here he goes. He's not gone for it yet, I don't think. Oh, as Connor thought he went, but he hasn't gone yet, and now he has gone. And that is not a bad restart from Evo. I mean, he did catch Connor out slightly, but not enough. As here goes Connor now. Going to be absolutely flying on those soft tyres, and it's going to be very difficult to keep him in behind with that much grip, as Connor is going to be all over the back. We'll go full screen for this as the championship lead is decided. In these final 2 laps, you got Wouter in behind. He's trying to close onto the back of Connor. Connor's trying to get the race lead, as now he'll draw alongside. Oh, he's having a look down the inside potentially for Cobbs, so he's going to think better of it. Wouter's still there in behind. Here goes Connor. He's going to go for the move through Magnus and Beckus, side by side. Here we go through Magnus and Beckus, and that is Connor now into the lead of the race. And now Wouter needs to make quick work of Evo, but Evo's going to fight him. Evo's going to try and defend here. Wouter's going to have a look down the inside. Oh, this is going to be close. Evo around the outside, he's off track, but you'll still have the inside line into the Vale chicane. If you can get a good exit here, you can still challenge going through turn 1 and 2 of Abbey and Farm, and this Connor with a new fastest lap, and now he's going to be pushing to set an even quicker lap time, as now Wouter's also got through as well. Sinful on the back of Evo. Now he's going to be the next one to go through. He's got less than a lap to get it done. Can Sinful get himself onto the podium, or will Evo hold on? Looks like Evo good run out of the loop and on tree, and he will hold on to P3 for the time being. Who's going to have the fastest lap between Connor and Wouter? That's going to be the big question. Wouter using a lot of VRS, so is Connor. Evo using everything he's got as well, and so is Sinful. Sinful really trying to get this podium here. And what a podium it'll be for the Aston Martin team if he can get it done. But what a podium it'll be for Evo and the Alpha Tauris if he can get it done. It's all in the balance here, as it looks like Wouter has the quickest middle sector. Looks like Wouter may actually take that fastest lap point away from Connor as we go through Stowe for the last time. Sinful too far back from, oh, he's gone very late. Sinful here making, oh my god, what has Laupy done? Laupy there has gone miles off, as well as Wouter does take the fastest lap. Evo does come through on the podium. Sinful comes over in 4th. Loudby there with a big mistake, but fortunately for him, only G-Star Snipes overtook him, and he had penalties galore. And that is how the race is going to end. Connor with the win, but Wouter was second place and the fastest lap. Means the points gap between them is only 6 points. And of course, in terms of the constructors, 66 points was the gap coming in tonight. They needed 88 points to completely wrap up the constructors. So of course that hasn't happened. But the constructors is almost a foregone conclusion now, whereas the gap is, what is it, 6 plus 7, 73 points is the gap in the constructors now. So yeah, it's almost, it's like an absolute certainty now that constructors will be wrapped up in Spa. The Drivers' Championship will continue on, of course, down to the final race of the season, unless Connor wins and Wouter doesn't pick up any points. I can't see the Drivers' Championship not going to the final round, but advantage now to Connor in the Drivers' Championship. Flip Ram was there in the championship battle, but he retired earlier in the race and he's lost out massively. He was 4 points behind them coming into this race. Now he's 29 points off the championship and possibly going to be under pressure for that third spot in the championship. Wouter though 6 points behind Connor now. So we'll run you through the final standings here tonight. Here's Connor with the victory ahead of Wouter in second place. Evo picking up that podium in P3, Sinful in P4. And of course we have Loudby in P5 with Skid Solo. Good result for him in P6. Andanan recovering up to P7. G-Star Snipes with all those penalties comes home in P8. Swiss Steak in P9. And Vero Ducko, the final finisher, picking up that final point in P10. Our known finishers were Pralang, and Pralang may be seeing something from the stewards that could be an issue for him. Ibo in 12th, Amaguna of course going out early, Wolfman and Flip Ram, who did make contact with Connor early in the race, so he could be another one facing a steward's report. So that will bring an end to round number 8 here at the Silverstone circuit. Once again we will look at the calendar just to show you where we are off to next. And next week we will be going to the Belgian Grand Prix for the circuit Spa-Francorchamps, and we will be seeing you next week at that iconic circuit, and we'll see who is going to be the master of Belgium. But until then guys, I've been Ivan Mike, and I'll catch you next week for round number 9 at the Belgian Grand Prix. Good night.